Alright, so today I'm going to be discussing my thoughts on education part 3, and this one's pretty much going to be about propaganda. Now, the thing with propaganda that you should know about is back in, the old times during World War II or during the Soviet Union, you'd see they had a lot of posters. They didn't have internet back then, so they had a lot of posters, and basically what it would say is Hitler's the best, or Stalin's the best, or President what's his name is just the best, and that was pretty much what it was like, and it would show them with lights shining on them, or it'll show pictures of what they do for society, or whatever. But nowadays things have gotten more complicated about. You look back then, you see that tanks and guns weren't as good then, and nowadays they've gotten a lot better. Well, it's sort of the same thing with propaganda, is that they look more into how the human mind works, and they make it better. And one of the things they've discovered is that if you get someone at a younger age, it's easier to propagandize them, and they're going to have a harder time breaking free. Whereas if you get them at an older age, you're probably going to have to actually convince them and bend them, and that's not an easy thing to do at all. So, basically, what happens is, rather than them simply blatantly telling you a bunch of lies in school, like the government's totally great, or this or that, because people don't believe that. People don't want to listen to arrogant boasting at all, so they have to kind of be cool with it, be easy with it. Like, when I learned civics, in civics class, they didn't teach me, oh, government's totally great. They just sort of taught you about why it's kind of like a necessary thing, and about why we need a two-party system, and, all this stuff. And then classes in general, a lot of times, instead of blatantly lying, which it wouldn't surprise me if they do lie, but they'll leave information out. Like they'll highly exaggerate something which wasn't really a big issue. Like, for example, the whole Nelson Mandela thing. Now, I'm not here to criticize him or to praise him at all. I'm saying that there's a really mixed crowd of people, some who think he's really great, and others who think he's not so great. And, I can't get good information at school because they all have the same biased opinion. And now I don't know where I can get good information, because it's just one person's word over another person's word, and I don't know, for some reason I have a hard time. Not right now, Laura! I'm sorry about that. I really hate it when people distract me. I wish I could just put a sign on my door that says "Do not disturb." But oh well. Anyways, so yeah, that's part of how they do it. But there's also a much deeper reason involved in how education, sort of brainwashes you, and that's pretty much by creating like this idea that it's totally unnecessary thing for government and authority and rule following and so forth. Basically, when you go to school, what do they say? Do your homework. And you go home and you do your homework, and if you don't, then they'll give you a failing grade. Now, a lot of the students in class say, oh, F that. I don't care if I fail or not. Well, that would be great, and that's what everyone wants to do. Why don't they do it? Is it because if they don't learn what they need to learn, they're not going to become successful in life? No. No. It has nothing to do with learning. It's because if they don't learn the material, if they don't do the work, then schools will determine that they're not worthy of making it in life. That's sort of the way it goes with education. And so they realize, oh, we have to obey the people in charge, obey authority, do as they say. And that's sort of like the deeper level of propaganda, is it's not by That's what I'm looking at. It's not by directly stating. It's more of an experience thing, showing them that authority is good, that you should not question authority. Like, I remember when the principal stated that the district said it was now alright to put in headphones and, you know, wear them around and listen to music and use our technology. He said that if we were wearing our headphones in the hallway, that pretty much a teacher or an adult figure could tell us to take it off, and we weren't allowed to question that at all. Even if they didn't have a reason, they could just say take it off, and we didn't have a reason to question that. Now, I think that definitely shows, like, huge bias towards authority. Like, if you want to maintain a free society, a free country, a free world, you have to raise kids to be free. You don't understand that. When they're in education and they're being taught that authority just has this power over them, well, they're not going to question when government does something wrong, bad. You know, they're just going to go with it. Like, police officers, for example, get way too much respect and way too much power than they deserve, because all of outside is turning into one giant school, and I hate it. Alright? I don't like going out and having to worry about the cops knowing that I have whatever kind of a knife, that I have a dagger on me, that I happen to have a switchblade on me, or whatever kind of knife I'm carrying. I don't want to worry about that. You know, I expect that they shouldn't care what I'm carrying on me, alright? It's not like I'm just gonna murder someone. You know, like, oh, I have a switchblade, because this is way more dangerous than other knives, especially because, excuse me for a moment, it's not like I can't open a knife up quickly anyway, right? But anyways, I got off on a tangent. But yeah, I mean, the whole outside just turned into a school. And then they have rules like no hats. They don't provide a good reason for you to not be able to wear hats. It's just they say so, and therefore it goes. Again, teaching you that authority is always right and morally should not be questioned. That is bad. You do what your teacher says all the time. You have to go to all your classes and be on time. And a lot of it, you'll say, oh, it's necessary because, you know, we're trying to teach them that this is what it's going to be like in an employee relationship in real world. Well, a few things. First of all, if an employer didn't go through this, maybe he wouldn't have the same expectations that they have now. And second of all, they actually have an incentive to do good when they're working at a job, whereas in school, they pretty much create a false incentive for you to pretty much get good grades, and there's not actually much, if any, incentive at all to learn anymore in these schools, you know. The whole time they'll teach you about how government saved the day, how free market and businesses were causing a monopoly, even though government was giving them the power to do that. They'll still tell you that it was free market and business, and then government came in and saved the day. Fix the problem that they caused. Has anyone here watching seen Jimmy Neutron? Notice how he always saves the day, but he's always the cause of all the problems. That's pretty much the way it is with government. They always fix the problems that they start, and in doing that, they usually cause more problems. See what I'm saying? Like, you could have a free system that works really great, and then think there's one little thing wrong, and it just causes two more things to break. But yeah, what else? No swearing. Oh my gosh, that just gets me. Why? You know, why should that be, you know, a mandatory rule? You know, it's not like they're hurting anything. They have to go there, just pretty much just obey authority. Because, I mean, eventually the hall monitors are going to be like police. And whatever the district passes, because the kids don't get a say in whatever rule is going to happen, it's pretty much just like when the politicians create a rule in society and nobody questions it. You know, it's the same thing as when the educational board or whatever does something. whoever the heck's in charge. What's another good point is that homework. I kind of think that's kind of like taxation in a way. Like, I can see some similarities because they give you money that you need to pay in order to receive, or they give you assignments you need to do in order to receive your grade. And if you don't, you'll be penalized. Just like if you don't pay your taxes, then they'll probably penalize you in some way or send you to jail. And they give more and more and more of it, and you can't do anything about it, and if you fail, you're wrong. And what I hate the most about education is that it takes up such a big part of everyone's life. Like, I don't mind school sports. I mean, that's all fun and stuff, but the fact that it has to last for 7 hours of the day, and just about every conversation you have, like with your friends when you're not in school, is probably somehow school related. I don't like that it takes a big part of everyone's lives either. And not to mention all those drugs that they prescribe to you in school. Yeah, they say school's a drug-free zone. What about all these psychiatric drugs that pretty much just get you to stop questioning authority and thinking for yourself and being you, who you really are? Everyone must conform and be one way, and socially and mentally, and then that's what leads to success, rather than just doing your own thing and being free and being creative. That's one of my major complaints about education. And I know a lot of teachers and public teachers would like complain and whine and go, well, of course you're going to be for it because you work for it. You can't go to McDonald's and ask them about proper nutrition. Alright, you cannot go to a fast food restaurant and ask them about proper nutrition. So why then would you consider a government-run school to be a good place to learn about government or society in general? It's just ludicrous. Thanks for watching, and I'll feature Zane.